Okay guys, we're back again with a recently developing story about one of the biggest artists in trap metal alongside the underground as a whole, and of course that's Zillakami, one half of the rap group known as City Morgue, who also performs at Grey Day almost every single year. So in other words, he's a pretty big deal, and recently there's been a few allegations floating around him, Sos Mula, as well as Righteous P. There's been a couple rumors about Zillakami before, but for the most part I've always ignored it because it's random stuff on Reddit with no backing, no screenshots, basically just people saying stuff with nothing behind it. There was also a bunch of stuff posted about Righteous P recently, but it was all taken down, and the person who put those accusations out ended up apologizing, and basically nothing came of the situation. But if you remember correctly, another artist who I don't even really want to talk about ended up putting some accusations out against Sos Mula, Righteous P, and not really Zillakami, but basically he was calling everybody in the City Morgue camp a and of course that basically went nowhere as well, because the guy who was putting those accusations out there is definitely not trustworthy, not to mention that he has similar accusations posted against himself as well, so he's really not the right source to be talking about this. But anyways, I'm going to include all of those screenshots at the end of the video for people who haven't seen them, but I also don't want to front load this video with a bunch of irrelevant stuff from before, and I want to talk about the new accusations that recently came out a couple days ago. The first thing I want to say here is that absolutely everything is alleged. I know that Zillakami said that he wants to sue anybody who talks about it, but all I'm doing is talking about the story. I'm not going to form an opinion. I'm not going to make a decision one way or another. So I'm hoping you didn't come here to hear my opinion on it and that you can make your own choice at the end of the video. But without further ado, let's actually get into the screenshots right now. So to start off, we have somebody saying Zillakami has been accused of sexual assault and I do believe this came out in the Zillakami Discord server, so take that as you will. This person, Decky, says, I have never in my life come for anybody's career or what they have done, but Zillakami is a and one of the most evil people I've ever known, and he robbed me of everything I had in my life. Zillakami emotionally abused me for years, landed me in the hospital. I protected his image, bro, and his entire camp has countlessly had underage girls backstage and done unthinkable things. I wouldn't wish what he's done to me on my worst enemy. I have the time today. I have screenshots of Zillakami in his 20s linking sleazy skids when she was 15. Zillakami is your favorite rapper, but he has sex with a 15-year-old at 22, and y'all want to wonder why I kept my silence about dating him for years. We then have some messages here that are supposedly between Zillakami and somebody else. Says, hell divers and do fun shit. If you want, I'll take you out somewhere when I'm back from the psych ward. Or to be honest, I really just need you and God from now on. I know that you were just trying to help and I fought you and I was biting you. I just feel like I did too much to you. I burnt your world and my world down. Throughout this journey and every person I've met, sometimes I feel like you're the only person who, and then after that it cuts off the message. Then says, nobody used anybody. I gained nothing off that guy. I paid for so much when he ran out of money traveling. Trying to hide these allegations are out on you. When I met you, I was sober. You convinced me to do ketamine in a New York hotel after New Year's, buying thousands of dollars of it as well as whippets. Shortly after, a girl you and I both know went through the same thing. You can try and use this as a motive, but I gained nothing from you. Trying to save yourself isn't going to work on a lie. You sent me this weeks ago, but now you have this realization. Let the truth keep coming out. After that, she then shares a screenshot of another girl saying, here's him denying, but why are you with a 15-year-old? You can ask her for more. And then it shows the message which says, but you're going to have to pay for it one way or another. And cool, you supposedly didn't have with Sleazy Skids, but why are you hanging out and talking to a 15-year-old? Sleazy Skids then gets involved, saying, I want to address the rumor going around involving my identity. Somebody posted a fabricated screenshot of me saying I was involved with Zillakami when I was 16. The screenshot is fake, but there is truth to the story. I've left this part of my life in the past and I want to keep it that way. But now I feel like I must say something as the story has gone out without my consent, and I want to tell my story on my own terms. One day when I was looking through my DMs, I realized my messages with Zillakami disappeared. I think he must have deleted them from his end. When I realized I no longer had the DMs of our conversation, I realized there was tangible proof of us ever meeting. This is why I felt that I could never tell my story, because I know how the internet is, especially to victims that are involved with artists. Lots of people praise. When there's no proof, people find it hard to believe the victims. I'm usually very hard on myself, and I acknowledge that I could have been smarter and made better choices to avoid that situation. But I also reminded myself that I was a kid and he was the adult. He should have done better. I made a lot of mistakes when I was younger, and I still make mistakes now, but every day I'm working on progressing and improving myself to better my life. I don't want what happened now to define me and gloss over all the progress I've achieved until now. I've addressed this with the person that posted the fake screenshot of me talking about Zillakami, but going forward I hope people can be more respectful and not post things without people's consent. You're not doing anyone any favors by leaking their story. It's been emotionally exhausting for me to find out at work that somebody's been posting about me and feeling like I'm forced to speak out on something that I tried to leave in the past. I ask that people don't message me about this anymore because I want to move on. I don't condone anyone's actions other than my own. I'll be clear, what happened wasn't okay, but I made my peace with it because it's my right to do so. My past doesn't define me. I'm allowed to move on. Thank you, Shy. So it seems that the first accuser apparently shared the second accuser's story without her consent and made a fake screenshot, but the second accuser also says that it did apparently happen, so I just want to make that clear before we move on. The only reason I left this person alone for nearly a year until he reached out to me was because of this. I told him that if he didn't leave me alone, I would tell everybody what he's done. Weeks ago, he sent me an apology for everything he did. You can do all the legal things you want. The truth is what's going to prevail. There are countless underage girls coming out about you, inviting them and giving flights to come see you. You're scared and trying anything. I already told you we can make it legal. We then have a fan page going at her saying someone didn't graduate Photoshop. I zoomed in and screenshot. Keep going and you're going to be the reason I go farther because I can't take this abuse. You can literally see the invite that he sent you. You're such a liar. Your fan page has no idea who you're talking to on the other end. If you want to continue, you can. I'm not a fan page, but okay. Obviously you can. I screenshotted her message and put her name for proof, dum-dum. You're such a terrible person for trying to ruin lives with such allegations. This man landed me in the hospital. I'm flying in and out of the country for immune disorders because of the cyclical abuse, physical, mental, and the loss of my business from following him around. You're literally delusional. It's the truth and I will die on this hill. I will never in my life lie on somebody like this, and I put it on my father's grave, who is the last living person in my life to care about me. This is the biggest truth. What do I gain by putting this out except people like you who make it hard? I knew when I spoke out that it would be worse than it would be doing me any better. The point was to keep this person away from me, and the he knows that he is. That's the truth, which is why he won't speak out. I'm not really sure what she's trying to say in this message. It says Skiz knows Brafo, knows Soph, knows I know a ton of girls who were trying to give me a confession and pictures of them together. I'm not sure if these are misspelled words or names, but either way I'll continue on. It's people like you that make me push it even farther. We then have a fan account saying, okay, why haven't you shown any of the messages then? She says, cause he's a coward that just calls and tries to make it okay. He's not stupid. You're a fan account. I've been dealing with him for years. I straight up have pictures of us living at his mom's house on this account. What else? You said this happened 2 years ago when he was 22, so why is that message so recent? We then have a post on Zillakami's story where he responds to the whole situation saying, I'm not the first person to go through this, where when a person cannot get what they want from somebody, they obsessively try to victimize themselves, but I will handle this professionally instead of taking it to the internet. My legal team will ensure any false defamation against me is taken care of. So with all that said, I basically have been watching this all go down, and I didn't really want to make a video right away until I started to see that a lot of people are jumping the gun in the Reddit, basically saying that Zillakami is guilty already. Now once again, I'm not going to make an opinion one way or another. I'm not going to sit here and be a fan and say that it absolutely didn't happen. All I'm saying is that all we have right now is screenshots and simple accusations. There's no actual hard proof right now. I'm not saying that won't come out in the future, but as of right now, before we make a decision, we should all wait and see what happens. So if anything else comes out, I'm definitely going to do a follow-up, and right here I'm going to show you all the screenshots from the Undead Poppy situation. So he starts off by showing a conversation between him and somebody else where basically they're claiming that Righteous P, the brother Zillakami, and the manager for City Morgue, as well as Sos Mula, apparently tried to flirt with some underage girls. Now there has been a little bit of talk about this before with Righteous P, but none of those claims have been backed up in any way thus far. I'm not saying it didn't happen, I'm not saying it did, but let's see what Undead Poppy and this supposed victim have to say about Righteous P. Righteous P and Sos were both hitting me up. I've got proof. Send. Thank you for letting us be on the bus with you guys. Welcome, bae. You looked sexy as fuck. Yeah, why didn't you tell me? I have more, but I have to look. He sent me his number and everything. He sends his number. She says, you want me to text you or something? He said, yeah, don't give my number to nobody. And Undead Poppy actually leaked this phone number on his story. I am censoring it out because I don't want anybody else to get his phone number, but yeah, Undead Poppy decided to basically dox Sos Mula. Then we got Righteous P. I'll be there on the 19th. I want to go so bad. Why aren't you going? It's hella expensive. I got you. And you trying to fix my car? Remind me in a few days before though. Remember the scrang. Yup. Then we have a picture of Sos Mula with a hoodie on. She says, I'ma steal your hoodie on God. He says, it's yours. I want you to be mine. Your part in sauna is hard. I want you to be mine. And then after that, we have what I believe is Righteous P with no shirt on. So basically what they're trying to say is that both of them are flirting with her and supposedly she's underage. Their personal trainer wanted to fuck me and my friend that was 17 and we both said no. Ronaldo. Chad sent me a pic of his dick, so they're all whores. Man, what the fuck? Shake my head. Your cat is adorable though. And then Undead Poppy calls them city, you know, I can't can't really say the word, but you can probably figure out what it says. And then she says, so Smula blocked me. Brandon no good, used to be their DJ, now it's all but 6, but he's trying to get with minors too and gives us all ACL. He says full gang full of Pedros, for real, even the DJ. And then he says, damn, even the bus driver, N-words riding around on a Chomo Express. Even the bus driver was weird. Just so you guys can have full context of everything that's went down so far, and hopefully you can make your own decision. And like I said, any more screenshots, anything else that comes out, definitely bring it to me and I will cover it as well. This is definitely going to be a situation that keeps developing, and I know that a lot of people probably think that Zillakami's guilty because he put out such a small response, but after all, when legal starts to get involved, you definitely don't want to say too much. You want to hold all your cards as close to your chest as you possibly can, because after all, as soon as you start talking, people will start picking apart what you have to say and they can use that against you later on. Anyways guys, I'll see you in the next one, and besides that, peace.